What's going on, everybody? So, the Yankees bullpen could look drastically different in 2025, in house and in free agency. Okay. There's a lot of guys that I expect to not be back. Some of them, in Clay Holmes, maybe Lou Trevino, maybe Ron Marinaccio, maybe Johnny Loizaga. Quite a few guys, okay, that I don't expect to be back. And I want to go over some in house names and some names in free agency that could represent good fits for this bullpen moving forward. Again, it's going to be a lot of moving parts this offseason. The Yankees have a lot of work to do. Priority number one is re-signing Juan Soto, obviously. So, and if you're a fan and you want to be kept up to date on everything as it pertains to the Yankees, good Yankee talk. Join the live streams. You want news as it comes in. You just want to be part of the Yankee fan community. This is a great community. Be sure to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that yet. So we're on the road. We're marching right towards 22K subs. Your support really means the world. I thank you for it. Now, I have to give a shout out to, because there's a couple names I want to talk about here that I've talked about with people on the live streams for months. And I've even profiled one of these guys about a month and a half ago. And so shout out to Ken. Okay, he's my loyal member of the 161 River Ave family, but he's also part of Dynamic Duo at NFE over at the Strike Zone. Because he's been mentioning one of these names, and some other folks have been mentioning some names as well. And I also want to give a shout out to the boys Alex and Ryan at Fireside Yankees, because they mentioned a few of these guys this week. So it's good to see another channel constructively looking for ways to make the Yankees better, right? And letting the viewers know that there are people out there that can represent upgrades for the Yankees that are actually here already. Okay, we'll get to both free agency and in-house. So shout out to the boys at Fireside. Shout out to Ken and NFE too. Okay, and Mikey Maz over on 4Train Express as well. I like listening to channels that constructively look for ways to improve the Yankees as fans, right? So at the end of the day, that's what we want the team to do. We want them to be better. We want them to win the World Series. Okay. So thank you guys for that. So now, with that said, let's get to some in-house options first. Eric Raiselman. And Ken's been mentioning this guy for about a month now. Okay, and it's made me take a deeper look at him. Okay, he's a 23-year-old pitcher. Okay, he's in Double-A now. He's interesting because he was, if I remember correctly, he was another drafted free agent, and he's went from rookie ball all the way up to Double-A this year. And Double-A is a hard level to perform at. Okay, and once you're at the Double-A, you get an idea of how well you translate upward. So, and he's already made Double-A this year, all in 1 year. So he's 23 years old, and this year he's 1-1 with a 1.16 ERA, 31 games, 38 innings pitched, 63 strikeouts, and a whip, 19 walks, and 18 hits. So he's got good stuff down low, good stuff up high. He can get guys out. Okay, he's got out pitches, off-speed pitches, and good heat as well. And he's mowing down Double-A right now. And this is one of the more competitive divisions, especially when it comes to the Yankees. The Double-A level is very, very, very competitive division. So he's one that can represent a good fit. And again, think about it. If Tommy Kahnle doesn't come back, is another guy I didn't mention. He replaced with a guy like Eric Raiselman on the cheap. Kahnle costs several $1 million. Raiselman's on the cheap. It's one of our prospects, right? One of our farmhands. And if Clay Holmes doesn't come back, another one who can be expensive. You get another guy like Eric Raiselman or Clayton Beeter, okay, who's he was the guy that the Yankees traded to the Joey Gallo for to the Dodgers. He came over here in the Joey Gallo trade. And we weren't sure because he had a couple injuries and so on. But he's a bigger pitcher. He's a bigger right-handed arm. He throws hard. He's got a downward angle on his pitches. And again, he's known for being a strikeout guy too. He's 3-1 this year with a 2.19 ERA in a relatively short season. 10 games, 7 of them were started. 37 innings pitched and 52 strikeouts. It's another guy. And his whip is 1.08. So his metrics look good across the board, as do Eric Raiselman's. And again, these guys both average more than a K an inning. This is one of the things that the Yankees like. Strikeout guys, right? They do like strikeout guys. Now, there's 2 other names I want to mention as guys that could translate upward to long relief and maybe a spot in the rotation at some point in the near future, too. One of the guys they profiled about a month and a half ago, Ben Shields, a lefty. 25-year-old lefty. Right now, he's in Double-A, so he's teammates with Raiselman. Okay, that's why I got a hell of a rotation there. He was 5-5 this year with a 3.48 ERA. Statistics aren't off the wall, but he's got 26 games, 17 of them started, 106 innings pitched, and 137 Ks. and a whip of 1.10. Again, another guy who can get dudes out from the lefty side. He's probably one of the more advanced prospects that are left-handed for the Yankees right now, because his path to the major is probably shorter than anybody else's from the left-handed side. I know we have another guy named Henry Lane, but he's further back. He's got big talent, but he's further back. So Ben Shields is another guy. And lastly, another one folks have been mentioning on the live streams for about a month, Cam Schlittler. Okay, he's in Double A Somerset too. Double A's loaded. Okay, he's 23 years old. Okay, righties 8-8 with a 3.36 ERA, 25 games, 120 innings pitched, 154 Ks, and a 1.27 WHIP. So you can see these guys average more than a K an inning. Okay, those are all in-house guys. A couple of guys for short relief, a couple of guys could be long relief, maybe spot starters at some point, maybe even a spot in the back end of the rotation. You never know. You never really know. Okay, in free agency, I think some of this depends on whether the Yankees are going to actually go with Luke Weaver as the closer. If he finishes this year strong, and he's shown he deserves a spot, an opportunity to close. Love that fire in his belly. He's got that moxie for the ninth inning. Okay, that Clay Holmes unfortunately just did not display, especially this year. But he's only got 1 year to his deal left. So what are the Yankees going to do beyond that? Well, the obvious choice in free agency is Tanner Scott. Okay, he was with the Marlins, traded to the Padres. Now, the cool thing about Tanner Scott is he cannot be given a qualifying offer because he was acquired at the trade deadline. So the Yankees would not have to forfeit any draft picks for him. They could just sign him in free agency. It's going to cost a lot of money, but in all honesty, I'd rather spend the money on him than Josh Hader. Okay, I'm glad we missed out on Josh Hader. Okay, there's just too much drama around him. He's a good pitcher, but too much around him. I don't think his personality and way he did things would have been a good fit in New York. So I'm more of a fan of Tanner Scott. And just to give you an example, he's 30 years old. Okay, so he's not going to get a super long deal. He might get a 4 or 5 year deal. Okay, he's 9-5 this year with a 1.61 ERA, 20 saves, 67 games, 67 innings pitched, 78 Ks, and a WHIP of 1.09. So he's productive across the board, and he's an integral part of helping this Padres team stay close to the Dodgers in the NL West. It's a short gap between them and the Dodgers right now. So next up was Kenley Jansen. Yes, he's older, but he's got championship experience. He still gets guys out in clutch situations, right? In key situations. He's 37, but he's close for the Dodgers, he's close for the Red Sox. And he's done well against the Yankees too. He's 4-2 this year with a 3.48 ERA, 51 games, 57 innings pitched, and 59 Ks. So again, averaging more than a strikeout an inning, a little bit more than a strikeout an inning. Guy can be a middle relief guy. And since he's 37, he wouldn't cost as much as a Tommy Kahnle would or somebody like these guys. So, yes, we still have Ian Hamilton. Yes, we still have some other guys, but we still need to supplant VOLPE. We need to complement these guys with some more arms, okay? Next up is a lefty, Jake Diekman, okay? He's 37 years old, another older guy, but there's been some productive older guys. He was with the Mets. He's 2-3 with a 5.63 ERA, so his metrics aren't very healthy, but I do think in Matt Blake's hands, he'll get better. Okay, 43 games, 32 innings pitched, and 40 strikeouts. So another guy who can get guys out from the left-handed side. And the last guy I want to mention, another older guy, Kirby Yates. Remember him? He's a closer for the Rangers this year. He's also 37, but he's 6-2 with a 1.25 ERA, 57 games, 30 saves, 57 innings pitched, and 80 strikeouts. This guy is money with the K. Now, if they decide to not go with Luke Weaver as the closer, or they want to complement closer, Tanner Scott or Kirby Yates represent perfect fits. If they do want to go with Weaver, then maybe Yates or Kenley Jansen would be good fits here. So either way, these guys are good options for the Yankees bullpen, one way or the other, in-house and free agency. Okay, I do think the Yankees bullpen should and will look differently in 2025, with some more youth, some more fresh arms, some more, guys that are just better fits here, can get dudes out on a regular basis. Okay, and I think they might pursue another starting pitcher too. And again, keep in mind, one reason I like to mention guys like Ben Shields and Schlittler and some of these guys is they've thrown innings. So even if they're long relief guys or spot starters, it takes the load off of the short inning arms at the end of the game. Okay, I always say it's a difference between using 3 pitchers and 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 in the game. It's a huge difference. Okay, so long relief can't understate it enough. That's why Cody Potteet's so important. And we can't depend on Luke Weaver to make 2 inning saves every time he comes up. That's unfair to him too. So we need some support around him. Yeah, I like Jake Cousins. I like Ian Hamilton. I like these guys. But we need more than that. And we need some reliable lefty guys here too. We've got Tim Meza, Tim Hill, but is that going to be enough? I don't think so. Jake Diekman or someone like that, Tanner Scott especially, would change the look and change the dynamic. And Scott's shown he can get dudes out. And he's got some fire in his belly too. So you let me know what your thoughts are. I mean, this is one part of the team that needs to be addressed. And obviously they're going to make some moves in the infield. I think a lot of it's going to revolve around whether the Gleyber Torres comes back. And at this point, I'll say this. I don't know whether he's going to play well. If he plays well enough and the Yankees think he'll get a pretty decent deal in free agency, then maybe they will offer him a QO for him to reject and then still sign a deal, 5-year deal for $75, $80, $85 million somewhere. And the Yankees would get a draft pick. Now, the QO is $21 million. I don't think he's going to get $21 million per year for multiple years. But with that said, my other fear is that if he does accept the QO, right, he comes back here, doesn't play well enough, then he goes out, and the Yankees kind of lose out on that too. So it is a risk to a degree for the Yankees, but it's a risk that could pay off, okay? And I'd rather, if I'm going to give a QO to somebody, it's probably going to be him and not Alex Verdugo, unfortunately. So would have been nice to do both, but I don't think Verdugo is going to get a deal that's going to justify giving him a QO. I can't see it just yet. I know he's young. He's 28. Gleyber Torres is 27. I get it. But unless we know something unless they know, excuse me, something that we don't, I can't see either one. And especially Clay Holmes. I can't see him getting a QO either. Again, $21 million is a lot for a freaking QO. Okay, so that still remains to be seen as to what they do there. But as pertains to this video, the bullpen, what are your thoughts? Would you go in-house with any of these guys? Am I missing anybody? Who would you go out in free agency and pursue? These guys look pretty decent. I think they would be good fits here for the Yankees. And these guys in-house, I think it would be good fits as well. And I like the youth. I like the durability. I like the consistency. I like the strikeout ability. I didn't even mention guys that they drafted, like Ben Hess and Bryce Cunningham, their first and second round draft picks, and some of these other big arms. They're still working their way through the system, too. We need to see what they can bring as pros. But they've got some big arms in the farm. These guys just seem to be the closest, in my opinion, based on where we're at right now. You let me know what your thoughts are either way, gang, okay? And then I'm going to do a lot more Yankee talk. So, again, like I said, if you haven't subbed, make sure you do that, please. I thank you. It really means the world. So have a great day, everybody. Go Yankees.